His sword is amazing when he's like not wielding Defender of Light. Sunherald's Claymore of Alacrity offers this prefix as well, which is not too bad. This looks awesome, holy shit. Oh, Menhir's Bulwark. This is the two-hander for Menhir's Bulwark. Okay. We are playing a Commando around this item. Like, that's a given, right? That's a given. So, patch 1.1.8 introduced 7 new monster frequents, one of them being the Sunherald's Claymore, which is just the perfect fit for a fire commando. It is also a very flexible item, as it doesn't support one particular damage skill, but rather the Menhir Bulwark exclusive aura. And also with its pierce and physical to fire conversion, together with additional fizz to fire conversion through either a fire prefix, such as Searing, or a component, such as Enchanted Flint, can provide you with a full fire blade arc, cadence, or even Force Wave experience. Since you need casting speed for Force Wave, and this item on its own only providing you attack speed, and also me getting additional attack speed on the pre and suffix on this item, I decided to use it alongside the Conduit of Warring Whispers with its specific role for Fire Blade Arc. Combining this with the freshly buffed Mythical Face Guard of Justice, as well as 2 other pieces of the set for the 3-piece set bonus, makes this commando very beefy with good fire damage on top. To add more damage to Blade Arc, I'm using the Mythical Grasp of Unchained Might for an additional 20% weapon damage to Blade Arc, and also Balthazar's Crust, a monster frequent introduced in patch 1.1.7, which is super easy to target farm. This build is able to handle old and new foes alike, from defeating all Act bosses, clearing Steps of Torment, Bastion of Chaos. Wait, is this actually it now? Nope, of course not. Hot Weathery. 76 cold, Morkas. Oh, blast shield. We're fine. 3, 2, 1, blast shield down. Oh my lord, okay. The art from these guys is actually kinda... The Ancient Grove. Fumbles. Fumble hurts a lot for 200s. Even more so than for dual wield, I would say. Alright, Greg Ball. It's gonna be another like test for the build. Alright, we didn't proc Blast Shield for phase 1, that's actually huge. Because now we can just face tank stage 2 with Blast Shield up probably. Wait, why didn't Blast Shield proc? Can we face tank Volcanoes? Probably not there. Oh, there's Blast Shield. Alright. And also Tomb of the Heretic. Magi's, here we go. These guys can be scary, right? So, I mean, if there's like somebody in there that like deals ass, I mean, Aether or Cold damage, right? I probably should run where I get like my resistances reduced. Luckily, these are Bastion and Orisa, which do like Vitality, Chaos, Bleed, and Pierce or something, right? So, like, yeah, whatever. Oh wait, I still got hit. Guys. 74 hit. You can just heal against bleed anyway. Not too shabby. Alright, let's see if we can face tank all of those together, right? This is like the real test for builds in Moving to like see whether or not you can basically face tank the Science and whatever is spawning here together, right? Oh, Blast Shield. Wait, and Menhir's work? But yeah, I mean, during the uptime of Blast Shield, just kill everything, right? Arcane, kill the Arcane, kill the Arcane, kill the Arcane. Seems good. So, yeah, I mean, the conclusion would be, this build can just face tank everything, right? Alright, wrong enough. Let's see how we fare against this guy. Oh, Blast Shield procced already. That's not good, we have like 0 DPS. Alright, Blast Shield is up again. It's gonna proc again, we're gonna deal damage, we're gonna kill him. Right? There we go. 2 new celestial totems. Of course, this commando can also farm local and defeat the Bourbon clones. And I made it up to Shard 66 in the Shattered Realm on hardcore so far. Exclamation mark. Oh shit. For full endgame gameplay videos, check out the links in the description below, such as a first time local kill, defeating Bourbon clones, Shard 50 to 51, as well as Shard 65 to 66 in the Shattered Realm on hardcore, as well as potentially a Crucible 150 to 170 Gladiator run, and some more celestial kills in the future. Now, this wouldn't be a Wrecked by Protoss build highlight video if I didn't talk about the build itself and Grim Tools for like 5 hours, right? So let's do that here. First of all, we're gonna check out the skill allocation, and we are obviously a soldier and a demolitionist, making us a commando. And because of the weapon, we do use Manual's Bulwark, also because of the change to this in patch 1.1.8. This now supports two-handers as well as shields. So yeah, the two-handers being the new thing here. And this weapon is a two-handed, obviously with a skin modifier towards Menhir's Bulwark, which converts pierce to fire and also half of the physical damage to fire globally. Then we have the main ability of the build, Blade Arc, which gets fully converted from physical to fire via the cone. It also gets additional flat physical and fire damage through Balthazar's Crest, and also additional weapon damage through the Mythical Grasp of Unchained Might. And you just max this one out and you max out Laceration. Unfortunately though, it's like really hard to get points into this. Like it's only at 20 out of 16. Like this could go up to 26 out of 16 obviously, and I haven't really found a way to do this without sacrificing other things too much. So if you have like an idea on how to like max this out, please let me know. Soft cap for the freshly buffed Fighting Spirit. I think it's like really good at soft cap now. 1 pointer for Blitz just for like movement, that's it. 1 pointer in Miner as well. Soft cap for military conditioning. This one got buffed a lot actually. This has like huge HP now, so yeah, soft cap it is. 1 point into veterancy. Hard cap basically to field command. My +5 on the officer's prefix actually is insane for this as well. Soft cap for store tactics for 14% attack speed and damage. 6 out of 9 decorated soldier, mostly for the elemental and slow resistance. Just a 1 pointer into Scars of Battle for bleed, rest, stun, rest, freezes, and armor absorption. If you need more of these like resistances, feel free to put more points here. From Demolitionist, the most important things for hardcore especially are Flashbang and its Fumble over here. And Flashbang also gives me like DA reduction, so I don't need Blindside because of that. Like this Blindside and this DA reduction from Flashbang don't stack. And then obviously Flame Touched for flat fire and percent fire needs to be maxed out. 1 point into Temper. Max out Blast Shield with this build, really crazy good actually. Like I almost make it to 22 out of 12 points here. And if you also are able to somehow get to 22 points here, please let me know. Blackwater Cocktail. Just a 1 pointer here into the first ability. I mean, if you can't soft cap this, feel free to do so. That is really good, but I wasn't able to do quite fit that in here. Then a 1 pointer into Demon Fire now because of the damage reduction in an AoE basically. That's pretty good. And then also, most importantly, Agonizing Flames for 28 flat resistance reduction. This means we don't need to take any flat resistance reduction from devotions. This will like free up some more devotion points for us. Also 1 pointer into High Potency just to have a longer duration on this and to like not have to spam this. Thermite Mine, this obviously got nerfed last patch quite a bit, but yeah, the new sweet spot is 13 out of 16 points here, and giving us 27% elemental resistance as of right now. Even in its nerfed state, this is absolutely crucial for any fire, code or lightning demolitionist, because this type of resistance reduction always stacks with all others anyway. 11 out of 16 Vindictive Flame, basically the sweet spot for Vindictive Flame for total speed, so yeah, that's pretty good. And also I have 7 points into Ulzin's Wrath, which is, I would say, one of the new sweet spots for this ability. This ability now has retaliation damage added to attack, which we don't care about on this build, but it also has damage reduction, and also like up to 17% at 7 points. Like you get at least 2% damage reduction per point up to 7 points now. After that it's only 1%, which is still not bad, because like damage reduction is a pretty powerful debuff. But I think for like most content, 7 out of 12 should be like the sweet spot to put this at. Unless you use like obviously another type of debuff. I mean, for example, Demon Fire and this one don't stack actually. The reason why I'm still using Demon Fire and Ulzin's Wrath here is because this one only affects 5 targets, and also only works whenever you get hit, whereas this one will work in an AoE round, cocktail ride, and just debuff everything. For devotions, I went for Torch, tier 3 fire devotion, tier 2 fire devotion, Magi, really good as well for huge damage here. Also like this one has attack speed now, actually, this note over here. Phoenix for flat absorption and also some fire damage. Then definitely a must-have is Solar's Witchblade with the proc Eldritch Fire, which has -X% fire resistance reduction. And yeah, this one does stack with all other resistance reduction debuffs, so yeah, a must-have. Also for melee, basically a must-have for like weapon damage based characters is Ghoul for like a circuit breaker. And also Bat is actually really great here because we do have global pierce to fire conversion anyways, and this one has some weapon damage on top, so it's really nice for this build for like additional healing. Also I think for a fire build like this, you kinda have to fit in Viper, because otherwise you will have huge problems against especially humanoids in say Act 7 that roll like additional fire resistance gear on top of their like innate fire resistance. Then we got the Chariot of the Dead, which is a tier 2 constellation, which I actually personally like a lot because of the stud resistance here, as well as the offensive ability it gives you. And also on the proc you have DA, armor, and a small heal. A must-have for two-handers that also like use attack speed or casting speed is the Kraken. Really important here as well for this build. And then finally we have two fillers in Toad and Lion. For gear, I basically talked about most of this gear already in my intro, but I mean additionally I'm using Uzin's Torment for the belt for like +1 demolitionist. I'm using Wormscale foot guards for stud resistance, petrify resistance, thermite mine +2, also like movement speed, OA and DA. And also the proc on this one is pretty good as well for like additional protection against elemental and bleed damage. For pants, I mean you can use something else here definitely. I mean all of these items that I'm talking about here and I didn't highlight on the intro are basically interchangeable. So in this case, Choices of Barbaros are giving me like +2 blast shield and that's it, and also like offensive ability as well as chaos resistance and physical resistance. On top of that, the battle cry proc is still pretty good though because of the like % all damage and total speed it gives you whenever you get hit. For rings, I am using a Crony Signet because of +3 laceration that this always has. I'm using a Resistance of Supremacy, which obviously aren't the best rolls you can get here, but this one works fine for the build I'm playing here. And also the other ring is a Mythical Combustion Band that I'm using here for the attack speed, as well as the Combustion proc, which gives me an additional 8% fire resistance reduction. Last but not least, for the relic, I'm using Korvax Deception this time for % OA and % DA, as well as +1 all skills to the Demolitionist. Also the Blazing Eruption skill isn't that bad as well. This one is pretty nice to proc, for example, the Uzin's Torch devotion. Also, I'm not using a Serenity here because I feel like Commando already has enough circuit breakers to not need Serenity, because I mean this build has the Prismatic Diamond in the head, the Blast Shield from Demolitionist, and also Minhir's Will from Soldier. So I don't feel like you need a Serenity proc on top of all of that. For components, I mean Bloodied Crystals here, basically a must-have, as well as enough Annihilation here for attack speed, and the proc a must-have as well. Bloodied Crystals are actually really good here because of the flat armor, and this one is a armor heavy build. For the same reason, Seed of Blades is also really great actually because it also increases your armor, but also on top of that it has lifesteal and flat pierce, which gets converted to fire anyway. And then finally I found a build where I could fit Kyrian's Shattered Soul in here, this one for additional attack speed, fire damage, and the Kyrian's Flame proc. And yeah, the other components are like your usual suspects, so like just fix your resistances, fix your armor, absorption, increase your armor even further, and yeah, I mean the Prismatic Diamond is like still one of the most broken components in the game, I guess, so this one like goes into most builds anyway. Also, let me just quickly highlight the attributes here, because I actually tried to go for basically a spirit dump on this build as well. 0 cunning needed here, you don't need any cunning for the sword actually. Physique down to 997 here in Grim Tools. I mean your armor will need 1035 physique, but if you use veterancy you will need less than that. So basically put 0 cunning for endgame, put only as many points of physique as you need for your armor, and then put all of the remaining points of the spirit. This will take care of your energy regen, this will give you additional magic damage, which is also fire damage, and yeah, this is pretty good for this build actually. And this is already gonna be it for this build highlight video, so thank you so much everybody for watching. Check out the other videos about this character over here or here. Also let me know what you think about this build, if you have played it yourself as well, and tell me what your experience is with this build. And yeah, I hope to see you around on the next video or my next stream. Take care guys.